In Kampala, Minister for ICT Judith Nabakova noted that the 1st of March 2021 cabinet sitting emphasized need to recover the economy through offering financial support to sectors which have suffered setbacks caused by COVID-19.
In the month of November, December 2020 and early January 2021, Uganda registered disturbing skyrocketing cases of COVID-19 infections, which continued stretching the health facilities and services. However, the month of February has given government some relief, as cases have relatively declined.
There has been a progressive decline in the number of new confirmed cases of coronavirus, alongside a reduction in the number of hospitalized cases in our COVID-19 treatment facilities, and also a reduction in the number of deaths.
Now the process for vaccination of Ugandans is in full gears.
The Ministry of Health has finalized the national COVID-19 vaccination plan and is finalizing the training guide for the district health teams and health workers to facilitate them in making district-specific plans.
In the recent cabinet sitting chaired by President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, the purchase and order for over 36 million COVID-19 vaccine doses was okayed.
On Monday 25th, 2021, Cabinet directed the Ministry of Health to place an order for COVID-19 vaccines to cover vulnerable people, estimated to be 20% of the Ugandan population, that is 9 million Ugandans. And the order has since been placed with the Serum Institute of India for the 18 million doses of vaccines to commence the first phase of vaccination against COVID-19. The Uganda has put out a total order of 36 million doses, 18 million through direct purchase by Government of Uganda, and another 18 million doses expected through donations from the COVAX facility.
The three-phased vaccination consignment, whose target is for 9 million Ugandans, will be applied on teachers, security personnel, the elderly, and high-level government officials as first beneficiaries.
Uganda plans to vaccinate 60% of its population in 3 phases. Each phase targeting 20% of the population, equivalent to 9 million people, starting with persons at high risk of contracting the disease by nature of their work. All are vulnerable to severe disease or death, such persons as aged 50 and above years, persons aged below 50 but with comorbidities, teachers, security personnel. When we talk about security personnel, we mean the police, prisons, and UPDF, plus intelligence services, health workers.
The ICT Minister, Judith Nabakova, also shared updates on the forthcoming commemoration of International Women's Day.
That Uganda will join the rest of the world to commemorate the International Women's Day on the 8th of March 2021 at State House Entebbe, under the theme, Building on Women's Strength for a Better Future in a COVID-19 World.
Minister Judith Nabakova also extended her apologies to the media fraternity in regards to Wednesday's scuffle at the UN Human Rights Offices in Kampala, where a section of journalists were brutalized by security operatives.
We have noted with concern what happened yesterday at the UN office, and as government we cherish freedom of the press and expression. So we will pledge to work with the security agencies in establishing what exactly happened, and we call upon the media people to continue doing their work as we also engage the security agencies. We would want to avoid a repeat of what happened yesterday.
Robert Onyango, UBC News, Kampala.
Parliament has ruled that all those who have a list of missing persons who have been abducted or arrested by different security agencies present them for follow-up. The ruling follows failure by the line ministries of Internal Affairs and the National Security to adduce the list of suspected missing persons who are alleged to have been abducted by state security agents. To date, none of them has been arraigned for trial in competent courts of law. Our parliamentary reporter Susan Nawonga has the details.
Last week you directed the Minister of Internal Affairs to bring the list of who members are calling missing persons, but there are people who have been arrested and abducted. And up to now, nothing has come out. However, Reasonable Speaker, we only see the spokesperson of Uganda Police communicating through Uganda Media Center as usual, and up to now, we've not got any answer about people who are being abducted, yet they are still abducting others.
Last month, President Museveni, in his televised address laid live from his country home in Rachtura, ordered security agencies to come up with a list of all persons said to be under their custody. This followed several complaints from families of missing persons at the hands of suspected state security agents operating under covert in plain attires. The same matter was raised on the floor of Parliament following the cries from the public.
Have disappeared, and I'm very sure the police officers must be feeling ashamed by now. That is why they are delaying, they are dragging up and down. They do not want to produce the list. Let them produce the list. If some of these guys are killed, let them tell us clearly.
Although Parliament tasked the line ministry to act by putting to the public the list of the said abductees, to date the Minister of Internal Affairs has remained tight-lipped over the matter, with only a flimsy contradiction among state security institutions on who is holding who in which custody.
We read in the media that the list has indeed been forwarded to the Minister of Internal Affairs. And Right Honourable Speaker, this matter centers on the constitutional rights of the citizens of this country.
Nonetheless, members are concerned with contradictions by security agencies.
Madam Speaker, the President has invited all the DPCs, RPCs, and when you read that story, you find that still there is a clash between security agencies, and the police is complaining about being accused of not doing its work, yet the army is having these people. So that the police and the UPDF are fighting. They say we are not the ones responsible, we are not the ones responsible. Even when it comes to releasing the list, because I thought after the Commander-in-Chief has directed 2 weeks now down the road, they are not obeying. Who are these people? Was the President being honest when he said, I'm directing this people to publish the list?
It's on this note that members demand that individual relatives be permitted to present names of their relatives, a matter raised by Kalungu West MP Joseph Sewungu.
So would it be procedural okay to know why the minister is not giving us the list? And if he has failed, provide the list of those people who have been abducted to the Parliament.
Earlier on, again, Madam Speaker, you know this boxer was killed. The President had come up and said, we apologize, I know it was the security people. But the family is up now asking. We have not had these officers being arrested or paraded.
Speaker Kadaga ruled that all those individual persons who could be having lists of those said to be in detention, forward them for follow-up.
As those members who have missing people to produce a list, present it here, then we ask the government to account for those people. I think that's what we can do at this stage. I think that's what we can do, and I think that's the neatest way.
It should, however, be noted that even after the shooting of one boxer, Zebra Senyange, the President tasked security agencies to provide information on his death, which information has since not been released. The question that remains ping-pong game is who is fooling who. Susan Nawonga, reporting for Ubc TV.
Ministry of Health has announced the arrival of